support Jakeem. Really appreciate what you do for USC culture, man. Come on.
Going on, shout out USCJ, man. Appreciate the support.
Shout out to USCJ, you know what it is. Nothing but love, man.
Trojan Felly, what's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. Listen, I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, happy Thursday to everybody. Look, man, you guys know I try to get these videos out sometime in the morning, man, and I'll be lost in the sauce depending on what time I get in. You guys know sometimes I work through the night. Sometimes it just depends. And I tried to record it. I was lost in the tire sauce. But listen, I got to get into something, man. You guys know I made a video about Lincoln Riley yesterday, but I want to touch on something that I said within that video, but then Notre Dame. I feel like Notre Dame wants their cake and eat it too. We're going to get into that. I think Notre Dame is lost in the sauce, and they know what they're doing. They're trying to make everything work in their favor so they can still have the benefit of the doubt, but sometimes it doesn't work like that. We got to talk about this because USC put an offer on the table, and Notre Dame, absolutely, if they value this rivalry as much as we do, they need to accept the offer. So we'll get into that in just a second. But Lincoln Riley play calling. Should Lincoln Riley play calling come to an end? I talked about this yesterday briefly, real briefly, and to Lincoln Riley as far as why I think we need to keep him and why I think the future is still bright. I mentioned something in that video yesterday talking about Steve Sarkisian and how Steve Sarkisian made reference to the fact that the question was asked to him, should he still be play calling? And Steve Sarkisian said, that's why you hired me. You hired me because that's who I am. That's part of who I am. That's my characteristics. That's what I do. You recognize me. You identify me as a play caller and a coach. Now, I heard Joe Clark make reference to this probably a few hours after I made, a few hours after I made my video yesterday. I heard Joe Clark and Callan Carr talk about this yesterday. And, you know, Joe Clark kind of alluded to the fact that no big-time coaches who won championships, have play calling in their repertoire anymore. They took over the general manager aspect of the game, and no more is the play calling aspect in it. Now, I feel like this, and I said it yesterday in my video. And you still have some guys that are defensive coordinators that took over head coaching jobs like Brent Venables, who's at Oklahoma, still calling the plays. I personally feel like you identify Lincoln Riley as the quarterback guru. You identify Lincoln Riley as the guy who was able to really change quarterbacks into Heisman Trophy winners. You got guys like Lincoln Riley who really has an offense, a top 3 offense every year. And I'm going to go over some of these numbers real quick because right now, of course, you guys know I just told you these numbers just a few days ago about Jada Maiava. Jada Maiava right now is leading all the quarterbacks right now in the country. Number 1 in PR, number 1 in pretty much all statistics. Number 1, and of course, the quarterback from Georgia, number 2. And then it goes down from there. Julian Sand, number 4. Mendoza, even from Indiana, number 5. And so you got multiple quarterbacks that are way below Jada Maiava in that category. But I believe that's what Lincoln Riley, part of what Lincoln Riley brings to the table as it relates to the quarterback. And total offense right now, according to ESPN, this is not USCJ, this is according to ESPN. USC ranks number 1, FSU number 2, Texas Tech number 3 in total offense, Arkansas number 4, Tennessee. Now, are you guys willing to give up, Lincoln Riley's offensive play calling for him to become more of a manager type of guy? My thing is this: you hired Lincoln Riley to be what he is right now, as far as from an offensive perspective. Now, like I said yesterday in the video, he made some of the necessary changes to move toward getting a better balanced team. Hiring a defensive coordinator, hiring all of the defensive line positions, the defensive line coach, linebacker coaches. He's made the necessary changes to get that improved. And I think it's leading in that trajectory to improve so that he can still conduct the duties of head coach as well as play caller. Do you really want Lincoln Riley without him being a play caller? I'm serious. Like I'm really gonna argue that right now. Do you really want Lincoln Riley not being a play caller and essentially not being, I guess, the quarterback developer, more so just, I don't think he's never going to stop doing that, but just more so managing the team. None of us have ever seen Lincoln Riley just manage a team without being a play caller. You don't know who Lincoln Riley is unless he calls plays. So my thing is this, and so I disagree with Joe Cly on this, and salute to him, much respect to him, all his success and everything. But I think we identify Lincoln Riley. I think that's what drew him to USC. What drew USC to him is because he had that outstanding offense. He was putting up the most points, and we're still seeing it, even though we don't have the best defensive structure right now. Well, I'm not even going to say structure. The structure's in place. But the results are not all the way there right now. We can see it moving toward that. And like I said, consistency right now in this program from a defensive standpoint is everything. And Lincoln Riley alluded to the fact that during a press conference that USC, these guys weren't in place. And you can see it on the field. You can see guys just not, and we noticed it even with the cornerback play. In the beginning of the year, it just seemed like guys were all over the place. So I think they're trying to figure out how to get these guys in place, and I think you're going to see a better product on the field. I truly believe that with all my heart. So the answer for me is, do you want Lincoln Riley without the play calling? To me, I would say absolutely not. That's just not even, to me, that's not even a real question. So hit me in the comments, man. I want to know you guys' thoughts on that. How do you feel about Lincoln Riley being a play caller? Now, I got to move on to this Notre Dame. And this is an article here. Well, this is directly from Notre Dame's site. The announcement that they made. And here it is. May 6th. This was an announcement that they made. And this is why I feel like, excuse me, Notre Dame wants their cake and they want to eat it too. Now, what do I mean by that? Notre Dame, it says this. Notre Dame and Clemson announced 12-game football series. Now, yes, Notre Dame has somewhat of a deal with the ACC, but this is different. This is a 12-game, 12-year series that they announced. Now, if Notre Dame's still independent, if Notre Dame is still not in the conference, how are you announcing a deal like this before you announce your biggest rival? Can somebody explain that one to me? They're not officially in the ACC. They have an alliance with the ACC. And football, as far as taking over, well, getting some of their schedule. But if you even look at their schedule this year, how many games did they play with the ACC? Well, yeah, they played North Carolina State. They played Miami. But my thing is this. You're signing a 12-year deal, and I'm going to read some of this. It says, two-story programs with national success and history of memorable matchups. Notre Dame and Clemson have agreed to a 12-year home contract to meet on the gridiron each season between 2027 and 2038. 2027 and 2038. So, and I'm not even going to get into this full article. It says the two schools were already scheduled to meet in 27 at Clemson, 2028 at Notre Dame, 2031 at Clemson, 2034 at Notre Dame. And so they just extended this. So here's the thing. So you tell me, you rather sign a 12-year contract with a team like Clemson. Okay, join the conference if that's the case. But to me, here's the thing. You don't want to sign a contract with USC. USC, only thing they're all asking is because of their Big Ten schedule, is because of what they have to go through throughout the season, which Notre Dame doesn't have to go through. They can still pretty much line up their Navies. They can pretty much line up their Stanfords. They can pretty much line up some of the other non-conference games, Northern Illinois, who happened to beat them last year. They can pretty much do that stuff and still kind of have just throw USC in the middle off of coming off a big-time win off a weaker team, which to me is, when you look at the brutal schedule aspect, when USC, just say they facing Michigan, they're facing Illinois, and then you got to play Notre Dame. No, we rather play them at the beginning of the season, get them out the way. It's a reason why Notre Dame doesn't want to play USC at the beginning of the season. It's because they know they'll lose. And the thing is, get them out the way the same way we did with LSU. Play us at the beginning of the season, and salute to LSU for doing that. Play us at the beginning of the season, and let's get it out the way. And we still keep tradition. We still keep the rivalry. We still keep everything that we had on the table, and it's not gone. And then USC can focus on their Big Ten schedule. Nobody's saying that they want that game gone, but you got to do it. You got to meet, I think, USC halfway, because you're already making schedules 12 years out and just totally disregarding your rival. So look, you guys drop the comments, man. You guys tell me what you think. I think Notre Dame is just want their cake and eat it too, and they're still an independent team. They still have to abide by they abide by the independent rules, which is no rules, and they don't have a whole schedule that they really just gonna go to. They still, for the most part, make up their schedule. So look, drop the comments, man. You guys tell me what you think. Should Notre Dame take this in the beginning of the year, and should Notre Dame and does Notre Dame want their cake and eat it too? I'm out of here, man. Happy Thursday to everybody. Until later on, fight on, fight on, fight on.